Dear June, I came out. This month is an important month. This month is, I think, one of the happiest months that I've ever had. And this month is also Pride Month, so you will see a running theme of all the things that I have read and have happened in my personal life and why June and Pride Month means a lot to me this year. And it has always meant a lot to me as an ally for 19 years of my life, but now that I've explored my identity and my sexuality, now I can appreciate why it's here, why we need a month like this. And if you stumbled on this video and you're a little bit confused as to who I am and what my identity is, then I will leave my video up in the card which explains my sexual identity in a lot more detail and my story behind it, because we won't really go into my story in this Me to You video. Let's start off also by saying I've finally finished my second year of university. I sent off my coursework at the beginning of June and now I'm free of all assignments for 3 months until I go back in September, October time. But we're not thinking about that because I want some freedom in my life. I don't want to think about work just yet, or the outside world, or the social world, or the fact I might not have a job or employment. I don't know, stop getting anxious, you'll be fine. I have not made a video on this. At the time of recording this, I would have finished my 6 weeks of therapy from my university. And honestly, I'm so glad that I decided to take that opportunity and go to the therapy and the counselling. It's really hard with someone who has anxiety and also was really uncomfortable about their identity and who they were to suddenly pick up the phone and ask for help. I hate picking up the phone anyway. But to then be able to nowadays walk into the other campus on my university, pick up the phone, say to my therapist that I'm there, and then walk into our office, walk out of our office and become really confident, and I don't feel so much anxiety about this. I mean, this is a massive change. I can see the change and I will make a more in-depth video about it if you so wish when I talk about my therapy, but right now I am very thankful that I have had the therapy and I've done it, and I'm very sad that it's only 6 weeks and it's ending, but my therapist has been so kind and she's been so lovely to me, and it's also been a really nice place for me to just also talk about my identity a little bit more, talk about my asexuality. It's something that we have been talking about a lot, and without her I don't think I would have ever come out or told anyone about it, and I think I would be still in the position that I was a month ago, where I hated myself and I was so phobic of myself internally. She doesn't watch my videos, obviously, but I want to thank her for being there. And because it's been Pride Month and I want to know as much about the LGBTQIA+ community as possible and learn these new terms that are new to me, have been around since the millennia and longer than that. But I want to know more about the world and the labels and the identities, and so I have been reading and I just want to share them with you just in case you want to pick up the books and read them, whether you want to learn new terms or you want to find solace in your own identity, which has been kind of what I've been doing. The first book I picked up is by Ash Hardell and it's the ABCs of LGBT+, and it's an amazing book that documents the terminology and the identities and slang words and abbreviated terms that surround identities in the LGBTQIA+ community. Of course, like Ash says, we might find some more identities that haven't been added to the book, and we'll need an entirely new book to talk about all of these amazing identities. And the way that it's split up is just fantastic, because you can find what you want regarding to maybe gender identities or also sexuality identities and romantic attraction, which are all in one chapter. And there's also a part dedicated to spectrum and what your spectrum is in terms of what you as a person identify maybe romantically or sexually or in your gender, in your own identity. And I have loved it. It has taught me a little bit more about my own identity. I found some great solace in it, and also learn about other identities that I might not have heard of but do exist. And it's just a fantastic celebration of identities, and I love it, and I want to read it again, and I probably will read it again. And so we will keep educating ourselves about everyone's identity, because identities are important. And the second book that I've recently finished is Transmission by Alex Berti. And if any of you watched my coming out video, you might know that I talked about how that book, at the back of it, there's a glossary, and it's the first time in my life where I heard the term asexual or asexuality, and it resonated quite a lot with my own identity. And so I thought that in honour of that book sort of talking about that identity in the back of a glossary, in the back of the book, I would read it and I would learn about what it's like for a transgender man in our society, and what it's like transitioning and using hormones, and what it's like with sex and relationships and work, because it's all of that, sort of all of those topics that I don't really know about unless someone within that community talks to me about it. And there are a lot of people who talk about their transgender identity, and it's a really important book to talk about. I hope that it brings a lot of knowledge and a lot of education, and also some solace to people who are going through a really hard time with their transitioning. And I absolutely loved it. June, have you noticed how different I sound? I don't know, have you noticed anything different about me? In my personality, in my confidence, in who I am as a person? Have I gone back to who I was when I started this channel? I don't know. I can kind of tell, but I have enjoyed your month so much. Hopefully this time next year we can just celebrate this identity and remember why we celebrate Pride all over again. July has the amazing opportunity, not dissing on your month. Your month is extremely important historically. We won't diss you. We won't. We love you, June. We love you, girl. We love you, honey. I've never talked to any other month like that. What happened to me? But July has Pride. It'll be London Pride, to which I will be there. That'll be exciting. I'll hopefully have some rainbow or some asexual pride thing on my face. I have to still think about that. But you'll see me around, hopefully, if you're at Pride. And if not, have a fantastic day wherever you are. Thank you, June, for letting me embrace my identity, for letting me come out, and for letting me be myself, be my unapologetic self. And thank you for letting me take the steps into getting and receiving help. I do not think I would be in this position right now where I'm very happy if I hadn't done those two things with you, and I love you a lot for it. Let's see what July brings. I have no idea. It's gonna be a crazy zany ride, but you guys are coming along with me. Boom, boom, boom. With all my love, my gracious, prideful, kind love, Ellie.